Hi there, this is Don in South Carolina. We're going to tie another floating spider today. I've had several requests to do a video on tying a very simple floating spider. Actually, though, this is the first one I learned to tie. It takes minimum of materials, it's very lightweight, it floats well, it's easy to throw with an ultralight rod, and it's just uncomplicated. It's a very simple fly. I used to call it a redback spider, but it's just a plain simple spider. And this is basically what it looks like. And I'm going to be using the Daiichi. This is a 1280. You can see that. It's a dry fly hook. And you want to tie this on you want the lightest hook that you can tie on so that it'll float well. You don't want a heavy, and you don't need a real heavy hook for this size. This is a size 10. And you can tie it on a size 12, works very well too. This is a really good bluegill fly. So clamp our hooking device. And the first thing we're going to do is just put down a simple thread base. And I'm going to put a little extra thread here so this spider's got something to grab the hook and maybe won't twist as easy. And now, at this point, I used to just tie in a hackle feather and palmer it to the front and tie it off. And you can still do that, but the last few times I tied it, I used chenille, and I really like this pearl chenille, size small, and that's what I'm going to use today. We're going to give it a little bit of an underbelly here. And that's what the hackle would do if we use that. We're going to use this. You can use peacock curl, works real well. A hackle will work. And I really like this pearl chenille. So all we're going to do is wrap this to the front. And this will give it a very shiny underbelly, and I like that. Okay, tie him off here. And cut it away. There we are. Alright. Now at this point, you're going to cut a foam strip. I taper it just a little bit and cut the corners off of one end so it doesn't look square. And about a 1/4 inch wide or so and a couple inches long is good enough size here. And what we're going to do is hold this over about where we want it, and before I stick it on there, I'm going to put a little CA up here near the front, just by the front. Hold this about where we want it, and I'm only about 1/8 of an inch behind the hook eye here, and we're going to wrap it good and tight. Several good wraps. Then lift this up and go behind just a little bit, probably 1/4 inch. We're going to go behind where we want the legs to be. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some CA on the top of this chenille. This will help keep it from twisting on the hook. And we're just going to tie it right there. And that's where we want the legs, right there too. Okay. Now at this point, we're going to fold this back over the top and tie it right in the same place we were just wrapping, where we want the legs, same place. Several good wraps. And I like to take and cut the excess off kind of like this. I'll show you why here just when we get done. Alright, now this is a medium rubber leg. We just need one strand. I got two here. I'm going to pull them apart. And here we go. One side first. About 3 wraps, and then make sure they're hanging just about like we want them. And then we're going to tie one on the other side the same way. Now we're going to give it several wraps to hold it in place. Get that one up a little bit. You want the legs to look natural. When he's on the water, you want them floating on the water. You don't want them sticking up in the air. Okay. Now, take our wick finisher. And want to tie it off good. 2, 3. I know that's a plenty, but I'm going to give it one more. Cut our thread. And you see that gives a kind of a shiny underbelly. Alright. Now I'm going to take and trim these legs because they're way longer than I want them. That's even a little long. Let's trim them just a little bit more. There we go. Now, come under here with our CA, and right where the rubber bands across the bottom of the belly here, we're going to add a drop on those threads, and a little bit right around the foam around there too. That too should help keep it from twisting. Now I like to dress them up a little bit, so the first thing I'm going to do is take a Sharpie here, and we're going to bar the legs just by twisting them as we turn them. Mark them here, rather. I know you can buy the legs already barred, and that's good too. I think the silly legs are mostly barred when you get them. Okay, while we got the black Sharpie, let's give them a couple eyes. Like that. And then, this little piece we cut standing up, I like to mark that with a little bit of red. Kind of helps spot it on the water. Of course the yellow shows up already, but I'm going to mark this a little bit anyway. Like that. And then I like to come back here on the back. What I used to always do with this little spider, there's one reason I guess I call it a red back, because I tied it, usually yellow was my favorite color. It seemed to work very, very well. something like that. And you can mark it any way you want it or not at all. It's really not, it's really for the fisherman more than it is the fish. And that's all there is to it. That's a simple little spider I used to call a redback, but it's just a simple foam spider with a shiny fuzzy belly, and I guarantee you the bluegill will hammer that. And until we tie the next one, I'll see some of you on the web. I hope you tie a few of these, and I hope you have as much fun with them as I had. We'll see you later.